Hi, it's Mark here. Mark Gillan. Hi there. How you doing? Right, what we're going to be doing is having a wee video tutorial here for converting units, so looking at the different units and how they compare with each other. One of the things in which we do on a regular basis nowadays is we convert metric between metric and imperial. Simple ruler. Here's mine here. So is it 12 inches or is it 30 centimetres? Well, actually, it's both, isn't it? We know that. So if you look at your ruler, you've got the metric on one side, so your 30 centimetres. You've also got on the other side there, you've got your imperial, which is inches, 12 inches. So there's a very simple way of us looking to see the comparison between them. So if we look to see at this, and we then look to see how we actually compare them. If you look at your ruler there, you'll certainly see, if you just look at the inch, you'll see that it's about 2.5 centimetres. Well, to be precise, it's 2.54. So let's have a wee look at all of these. So in 12 inches to a foot, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got 12 inches there to a foot. You can see it graphically. It's also about 30 centimetres. And this is a good starting point. So 1 foot, 12 inches, 1 inch, as you can see there, it's 2.54 centimetres. 1 metre, going a bit bigger now, 100 centimetres. So if we look at these simplified conversions here, so inches, a wee pointer for you is the inches is always going to be a larger number, a smaller number in terms of its number size. So 1 inch compared to 54 centimetres. I've not got half a finger. Anyway, I do know that that's an inch. So if you're doing measurements. Now, there's a video tutorial for measurements. Now, what we want to do is to look at the conversions of imperial, metric, imperial. So you're going inches to centimetres, you multiply by 2.54. Feet, 1 foot is equivalent to 12 inches, so you multiply by 12 for the amount of feet you've got. Metres, multiply by 100 to get centimetres. So that's easy because it's metric within metric, so it's nice and easy. 100. Right, I'll be looking at another illustration here. So we had a look to see the comparison there of each of them, but what happens on one side happens on the other. So if you imagine, we did say that 1 inch is equivalent to 2.54 centimetres. So it's 1 inch on one side, 2.54 centimetres equals that. So if we then say 4 inches, well, what we're doing is we're multiplying that 1 inch that we had by 4. So we've then got to do the same on the other side. So it would be 4 times 2.54 centimetres. And it would be the equivalent. So 4 inches multiplied by 2.54 centimetres comes out as 10.16 centimetres. Let's have a look, inches to centimetres again. So 1 inch, 2.54. So what is 55 inches in centimetres? No, don't tell me you've done that already. If you have, you get some mind there straight away, thinking way ahead. Well, let's have a look at that. So from 1 inch to 55 inches, you're multiplying by 55. So it's 55 times what we originally had as the smallest there, 1 inch. So what you do on one side, you do on the other. So 55 inches is equivalent to the 2.54 centimetres, which is for 1 inch, multiplied by 55. So yes, you're probably right. You calculated it out, 139.7 centimetres. Round it off. So the way around, centimetres to inches go in the other direction. So the conversion is still the same. 1 inch equals 2.54 centimetres. So that doesn't change. It's still the same. One side equals that. That's it. That's what you've got. So 1 inch equals 2.54 centimetres. So what we do to get it the other direction, so it's centimetres to inches this time. Well, you divide. What you do is you divide from what you've had. Here's a wee example. Okay, a wee working example for us. So it's the opposite way around. So what's 18 centimetres to inches? We know the 18 centimetres is going to, 18 is going to be the larger number. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide by 2.54. So 18 divided by 2.54 gives us 7.0 inches. We'll round that off to the nearest, so it's 7 inches. So now we've gone from inches to centimetres, centimetres to inches. And another wee illustration here of some of the other things that we tend to do. Now we've got liquids there, 1 gallon equals 8 pints. We've also got the amount of kilograms and pounds. We've got euros to Turkish lira, so that's foreign exchange. There's a video tutorial for that as well for you. So we've got the Imperial and the smaller sizes, making larger ones on this as well. So what about part of? So if we look at parts of, so if, for example, you get somebody that's maybe 5 foot 6 inches. So we take the fact that 1 foot is 12 inches. So we can quite easily convert the inches there. So we can. And we can convert the feet, but we do it separately. Okay. However, what we can do is we just know that 1 foot is 6 inches. So if we work on feet, so we get 5 feet and 6 inches. This is quite straightforward because 6 inches is half of a foot. That's because 1 foot would be 12 inches. So 1 foot, 12 inches, therefore 6 over 12. So to get that into a decimal, make it easier for us, 6 divided by 12 gives us 0.5. So then we've got the 5 feet plus the 0.5, so it's 5.5 feet. Now we can do it using decimal. Decimalisation makes it a little bit easier for us. So it's 5.5 feet. And we could work that out based upon 1 foot is 12 inches. Okay, so it makes it easier if we're working with parts. So what if somebody's 5 foot 3 inches? It's exactly the same thing. 1 foot is 12 inches. So we can convert it using that. So 3 inches as a part of a foot, because remember it's feet that we want to work in here. So it's 3 divided by 12. And that would obviously, with 3 divided by the 12 there, it gives a fraction of 0.25, being a quarter, a lowest denomination, so it's 0.25. So we can then write it as 5.25 feet. So then comes, now that we're able to work with fractions and decimals and we're able to put that into that context, we can then look to see about converting that. So if you look on your rule guide, you can see there's 12 inches to a foot and you get 30 centimetres. So we know those conversions and we can remember them. Make a note of them, learn them, remember them. They're really handy, so they are. So for example, if we get something that's 7 inches, then that's 0.58 of a foot. And we know that that's 7 parts of 12 inches. How do we get to the 0.5 of a foot? Well, we know that 12 inches there, so we can convert that out, so we can, if we wanted to, in any which way we want there. But we know that 1 foot is 12 inches. So therefore, we know there is a part of that, a part of the 12 inches, 7 parts of 12 inches. So again, 7 twelfths. 7 divided by 12 gives us 0.58. There's a tutorial for that as well, by the way, for fractions, decimals, percentages and so on. So if we just look at the conversions, and then it makes it a little bit easier for us as well. So first measuring at 4.8, you divide by 12, that gives us 0.4 feet. Or we could have 4.8 inches into centimetres. And again, we multiply the other way, the other direction. 4 inches multiplied with 2.54 centimetres, we go the other way, you divide. So working the other way, like I said there, it's 1.7 multiplied by 100 centimetres, so it gives us 170 centimetres, so that's 1.7 metres. So we can work with anything at all as long as we've got the conversion. And working back the way, instead of multiplication, we divide, as long as you can know how large something is. So if we know in the numbers, so working back 67 inches, multiplied with 2.54 centimetres, 170 centimetres. If we want to go back the way, 170 centimetres divided by 2.54 would give us 67 inches. So no matter which way you do it,